be towards the end of the year. We do not, we in the market don't ask R&D to work faster than necessary. We want it to be very thorough and to make sure that everything that we're doing when it comes to reformulation of key products, that we are spending the time. So you're not going to see these just bust out fast. You're going to see, for us, that science and give you guys the time to really focus and reformulate these perfectly. So April for LifePak and then end of the year for LifePak Nano is when we will be reformulating those two in the US, and then you'll see them roll out throughout the world as regulations work in markets. I work specifically with North America and Latin America. It is a long process to get a product into Canada. It is a minimum of a year, with Health Canada. That is just the way that it is. Latin America, some of them are faster than others. It's just government regulations on when we can get elements and reformulations into these markets.
And something that's important for Nu Skin is doing our due diligence.
Yeah.
And part of that due diligence is making sure that we are compliant with all of the regulatory needs in the market, but also that we are intentional about our success process, in how we source different aspects and how we build the product, our specifications. So we do ensure that, we're doing our job, if you like.
Yeah, for sure. We have a question. Can the Prysm score be improved by eating any multivitamins containing carotenoids? Probably, but does that multivitamin guarantee your money back if your Prysm score doesn't increase? No, we do. We guarantee after 60 days that your score will increase, and that's something that we stand by. We believe fully in our products, but this tests nutrition and lifestyle and all sorts of things, right? The Prysm is not just for our supplements.
Right, and I think what I would say is, it's not just about carotenoids. Carotenoids clearly are very, very important in terms of biology. They have multiple benefits in the body, and it's clear that increasing amounts of carotenoids provide more benefits. But like I said, that's just one of a number of micronutrients and phytonutrients that the body needs to be healthy. And so, it's the amounts and the types of these compounds that we've incorporated into these different products that's really, really important here.
Yeah. There's a question about ages on when you can take LifePak Elements. LifePak Elements from our clinicals and our studies has been approved for 14 and older. Anytime that you are looking at something specific for your family, you need to work with your doctors and your healthcare professionals in your life, because we are very specific on who we recommend our products to. All of our products are 18 and older, except ones that are specifically formulated for children, or where we have said that teens can take elements. We're extremely cautious with what we recommend as a company, and we will always stand by that.
We care about people. We care about their health, and so that's important to us. Very important.
Absolutely. G3 is also a product that kids can take. It is for the whole family. Is G3. I know we're talking about LifePak, but just so you know there. We will do some videos and some science things talking about the once a day, twice a day. So you'll see that coming. I don't want to dig into that too deeply right now, but as we are getting ready to launch a once a day LifePak, we will talk about that, why it is okay to take it once a day, or if you want to take it twice a day. I actually was talking to Dr. Shelley Hester, who's on your team, about some of our Mind products and Meta, and I split them just because I like to take less pills twice a day, but you can take them at once a day, and we haven't seen any clinical difference in like Meta being 2 in the morning, 2 at night, or 4 in the morning, or 4 at night. So we're learning a lot on how supplements work in our bodies, and so we will get you guys more information on the once a day, twice a day concept.
The optimum times to take different supplements.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people need to take LifePak with food because it upsets their stomach. But also food is going to help. I know
Absorption.
a little bit of fat helps absorption, right? With supplements.
12 almonds.
12 almonds. There you go.
There you go. That's yes, and that's from Rebecca Major for those of you who know.
I was going to say
she
Rebecca
reminds
and Tanner always
to
tell
eat
me
our 12 almonds.
Yeah,
to absorb those carotenoids.
You're going to absorb it better. These are just little things that I learn from our scientists all the time. So are we taking these worldwide? Again, country regulations. We would love all the way Jungimals through Nano to be in all of our markets. But work with your specific markets on that. Just know that there are a lot of regulations that have to happen, not because our products aren't safe in every market, but just that government regulations that you have to kind of work on. So 14 and older with elements, it is 2 a day for 14 to 18, 3 a day for 18
Adults.
plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And that's on the PIP. Everything that we're saying you can always find on the product information pages on the website. We list all of this.
There's a lot of good information on the PIPs.
A lot of good
actually.
information on the
and
PIPs
a
on
lot of the
this.
references that I spoke today, you'll find those referred to.
Yeah,
cited.
we all of these scientific studies we reference, we put the links to, we do this. So, what factors? So we kind of talked about the family at the beginning of this, but with this question where it's like, what factors do you take into play? Again, there isn't a, what did you say? A cheap uncle? A cheap cousin?
A poor.
A poor.
In terms of nutritional
I was trying to
value.
remember what it was. A poor cousin or uncle. They all have great nutritional value.
Yes.
So it really is kind of personal preference on, how many you can swallow, what your specific nutritional needs are, and what.
So
it is kind of $1 a day, $3 a day, $5 a day on spend.
There's a little bit here in terms of sort of what is your biology, but also a bit about your consumer preference in terms of what do you really want to take as a supplement. Do you want to take larger size capsules, or do you want perhaps something that's a little bit easier to swallow? So there's a kind of like a personal care product. There's a sensorial aspect, but then there is the benefit aspect. And all of these provide benefits, right? No matter what you take. And Elements helps fill just your nutritional gaps that you might have in a diet. For example, like it's hard to eat the rainbow every day. So that's Elements. Your LifePak will provide a little bit extra, and it's a more optimized, more fuller, comprehensive multivitamin, mineral, and phytonutrients. There's a few extra phytonutrients in here, but there are still very important phytonutrients in Elements. And then, of course, you've got LifePak Nano that helps with the bioavailability, but also includes omegas.
Which I love. And so you can add omegas to either of these
you
two
could.
as well, where we have optimal omega or others. Or you can get it all in one place, which is actually going to help you save money in the long run if you're, combining all of those in.
So lots of choices that I really think helps provide you, no matter who you are, there's something here for you.
So, and we did talk about this a little bit earlier on the Lancet study. So for those of you who joined us recently or missed that, these are formulated very specifically for market needs.
Yes, that's right.
Nutritional market needs.
So the paper published in 2020, and it's got a beautiful map of the world, and it shows that countries have different nutritional gaps depending upon the diet, the common diets that people are eating.
One of the other things that I'm really excited about the new LifePak that is launching in the U.S. market, and you talked about this a minute ago with all the beautiful colors, is the phytonutrients in the Phyto Advantage Plus blend will have the entire color of the rainbow in it, coming with this new one, which I think is so cool. Like that it has that full color of the rainbow. in the new phytonutrient blend.
Yep.
And we haven't reformulated these products. Like, it's not like these are being reformulated every couple of years, but I'm excited for the science and the clinical, research that your team has done that is coming into these products for these big overhauls and these big things. Again, every market will have a slightly different formulation based on the market needs.
But they still meet.
So they still meet the promise, right?
They still provide the benefits.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So there's often different ways. Like driving, you can go a different path to the same endpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So these have benefits, which are the endpoints, and you can go different ways to that same endpoint, to those same benefits.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, let me see if there are any last minute questions before we close this out. Because I don't know, we're not going to answer every single question on here, but we are one other little, I can see some different Jungamoles questions. We are looking at reformulating our children's multivitamin for the end of the year in the United States.
Yeah,
I know.
and we know that children also will have nutritional gaps in their diet, and it's really important that we invest in their health when they're young. And so we're looking at sort of now with the research that's available, can we take a modern approach and look at the recent science and provide a great, a great addition to their diets from Pharmanex.
I love that. And then there are actually 2 Prysm levels, level 1 and level 2. I don't think we have 3 levels of Prysm certified products. I believe we just have level 1 and level 2. So Elements is level 1 and the 2 LifePaks are level 2. That has to do with the amount of carotenoids that are in a supplement.
Correct.
Youth is a level 2. I'm not going to pretend like I know what all of them are off the top of my head. I do know a few of these level 1s and level 2s, but that is how many carotenoids specifically are in there. But as you said, Helen, we're learning so much more that it is not just carotenoids, and we have clinical studies that are showing these other these lifestyle things and these other, vitamins and minerals that are impacting Prysm score. So don't get too attached to where we are today, because I have a feeling that indirect and direct and lifestyle and all of these things are really going to play in to how all of that works in your score.
Oh, for sure, and we saw that in a clinical study we saw we did in China with 589 people that Prysm score definitely relates to our nutritional wellness, but people that went to bed earlier, got their sleep, had physical exercise, those people tended to have a higher Prysm score as well. So there's lifestyle aspects coming into what contributes to a Prysm score.
And so, yes, we do have our Prysm guarantee on our products, but gosh, we are learning so much about what goes into this score, and it's very exciting for me. Is an omega enough fat to be on an empty stomach? That's not going to be the same amount of fat that's in 12 almonds, right? Like I think they have some fat in them, but fat, you need food to absorb it, right? So it's not like you still need to take your almonds when you're taking LifePak Nano.
Yes.
To have your full absorption.
Well, and the omegas are specific fats, right?
Right.
So there's specific or certain types of fats that you need to really help your nervous system. Things like DHA and the levels, and so when we look at our omegas, we're talking about a specific class of fats that we know are not commonly found in our diets, that we're eating every day, but are really, truly important to the functioning of our nervous system and our brain health.
Awesome. That is very, very good help with us. And the last question is, do U.S. products meet U.S. safety standards, since the U.S. We can launch supplements much faster in the US than a lot of other markets. But absolutely, we have our 6S process. You can read about it. As a company, we absolutely stand behind our safety, our science, our studies. The 6S process is who we are. And so you can stand behind that.
We are strict at Nu Skin.
Yes, but the US supplements necessarily are not, right?
Right.
So, but we are very strict. I know that you and your team,
and it's
you don't cut corners on science.
And it's not just about the types of the ingredients, the different ingredients, but it's also about where they come from. So the scientists are always looking at how do we source these, and how do we make sure that they are validated and are actually providing what they say they are providing. So that's very, very important to us.
I love that. We do have these studies online, so you can see the Lancet study that we've talked about on countries having specific needs. We have studies on
and we have our product information page
ours,
that has a lot of the data, and we also have quite a long reference that was published on carotenoids and the importance of carotenoids, and there's a short form version of that as well that's available for individuals. So there's a lot of information and assets that we've provided.
And we will continue, providing science on these. We will have lab to life videos from Helen's team on the Pharmanex side, and we will continue, especially as we are reformulating and launching, getting way more details out on what different things are and the science around these.
And our other fun place where we have great information are our social sites, right?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yeah.
So do check in on the social sites.
Yep. Follow us on our Instagram or our Facebook pages, because we put little tidbits of science out there all the time. So super excited. We are so grateful that you guys joined us today. For those that are rewatching, again, put your questions in the comments, and we will make sure we get those. And I love the idea of us answering some of these on our social websites as we get these questions, and in future podcasts. So thank you guys for joining us here on the Intelligent Wellness Revolution, and we'll see you guys next Friday, same place, same time. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Prysm got me sharp, no sleep in the lens. Beat me up,